Ohio State being a little small, especially at the Stuelke position, that's something that you do want to look out for.
It's Heiden and Lemila to jump things up here. A top 12 matchup midway through Big Ten play. It is Iowa basketball to start, and it'll be Ohio State actually to begin. Right around that half-court line, juggled. And fans take their seats. It'll be the Buckeyes, one of the best offenses in the Big Ten, top 20, both of these teams in offensive rating in the nation. Getting started here early.
And for that, for Ohio State, it's a lot of stop steals to score specifically, but in the half court, we'll see a lot of dribble drive, a lot of movement. Jelani Cambridge is one that needs the ball in her hands, but hey, I'm not mad at that shot.
Ava Watson left alone. She's going to knock down the long range two. And Taylor McCabe has come up hobbled, even slapping the floor. And this is tough to see for Iowa fans. This is a 4-year Hawkeye, one of the best shooters in the entire country. Apparently injured on the first play of the game and needing a lot of help, being carried off the floor right now.
Oh, yeah, you saw the way she went on her knee. Just like a misstep with the knee kind of went. That's a tough one to watch.
McCabe is a 40+% career three-point shooter. Hope to see her as soon as possible. But Iowa has to deal with that kind of loss right now. Out of the game here so soon. Kevin McGuff in his 13th season leading Ohio State. Just one loss in Big Ten play, 7-1, as Ohio State's able to take control of the basketball. The mid-range in transition doesn't go for Jelani Cambridge.
But that's exactly what they're looking for. You see it here again, the pressure.
Addie Deal, the freshman, throws it up ahead. She came right in from McCabe. Down low into Stuelke.
When you talk about Ohio State's pressure, but once you get it over the top, it is dangerous. They are vulnerable.
Ohio State is stifling, smothering, so the freshman was able to deal with it. How about Ava Watson with another field goal? That touch nothing going down.
She has really stepped up coming into this role in her starting position in place of Kylie.
The center is able to step in and get the steal, looking for another three, back-to-back. It is Chance Gray.
And to your point, Slow, Kenny Cambridge just to do a better job. That's a face block there at that point when it comes to that size mismatch.
And she's trying to prevent a post-entry pass. Instead, that shot will fall for the Hawkeyes, and they needed that back-to-back 20-point games. Backdoor, that was tipped and stolen away by the Hawkeyes. Wright turns on the Jets, being guarded by Kennedy Cambridge, one of the best defenders in the nation. On ball and off. Here's the lob inside to Stuelke. That's what Ohio State's worried about and what Iowa wants to capitalize on.
Every single time. The guards, Hannah Stuelke, Ava Heiden, they do such a great job of clocking that.
Cambridge runs into a couple of trees taken away by Heiden. Iowa now within 2 in the first quarter, as Deal will weave, then retreat. Couple games removed from a breakout performance against Oregon. Here's Lemila, strong defensive play, lands in the hands of Deal, and she takes it to the cup.
Early on, they took a bit of a hit in the beginning, McCabe going out, but now they're finding the rhythm.
A well-loved starter leaves the game, 6-0 run, but look at Ava Watson stepping into the spotlight like it's nothing. Having to change your mindset to that being your primary assignment is preventing her from getting on the glass. She's been on a tear recently. You saw that 41-point game in front of her idol, Asia Wilson, in Champaign. Here's Bryn Martin lofting up a floater. That's no good. Great effort. Ava Watson's had a tremendous start looking for the assist. Doesn't get it from Kennedy Cambridge, and swallowed up by Heiden. Taylor Stremlow sprinting up the floor, going into 2 Buckeyes. It'll be a blocking foul.
Loved it. And then drawing the contact. Looked like she surprised herself.
Here's Taylor Stremlow from Verona, Wisconsin. And since she walked on campus, head coach Jan Jensen has talked about the moxie that she possesses, where she just has fun, she takes risks.
I mean, really, when you go out there, I'm talking about last season, to your point, as a freshman, that's really all you can do.
An offensive foul is going to go on Kennedy Cambridge.
But that's what makes these matchups so much fun for the players. They go in with a chip on their shoulder, not necessarily thinking about what's at stake in the moment, but just kind of taking this opportunity and chance to come out on top.
Taylor Stremlow forcing her way inside. She's walled up. Stuelke working for the mid-range, shoots over. Kennedy Cambridge drops it, and she is feasting on that matchup right now.
Yeah, and that's not a typical shot we've been seeing from Stuelke.
Chance Gray looking to get her more involved offensively, gets herself in rhythm, doesn't get the roll.
The shot didn't hit, but those are the looks that they need to get. The ball screen to the mid-range. So you're not going into the size of Iowa. You're getting into those gaps.
Skip pass, Deal takes off into the paint, carving up the defense to the cup.
You talk about fearless freshmen.
Todd lines up a three. Off back iron. Taylor Strumlow running the show, engineering this offense for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who on the first possession of the game saw an injury to Taylor McCabe. Here inside, Ava Heiden had the angle.
You just can't let her get any easy looks because Ava Heiden is so efficient inside.
Cambridge coughs it up, then an offensive foul, and everything happening in Iowa's favor in front of this. That is the Iowa post player way when you work to get those angles. No dribble, lay it up and in.
Best post move is no move.
I like that.
That's what I've always learned.
Layla Hayes is checking to the game, a freshman from Alaska. Here's Addie Deal, feeling it from the mid-range. She can be such an X factor, and her teammates and this crowd realize it. 1:15 to go here in Iowa City, first quarter, and Jelani Cambridge out of the timeout drains the triple. Wright now getting her team organized. 45 seconds on the clock. High-low once again. Here's Stuelke finishing through the contact.
I mean, that's where Iowa's going to get their bread and butter the entire game. The high-low look from there, and I'll tell you what, Sloan, when it's coming from the top of the key, the help side, they got to pick and choose who's coming in, and it was too late.
Stuelke can convert, just below 54% from the free throw line this season. But Stuelke with 8 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Here's another three on the way. That just rims out. And Wright eating up the seconds. Working through Hayes at the high post. She's fouled, or there's a foul underneath the basket. And that's Bryn Martin, who's a 6'1" freshman guard trying to muscle up with Hannah Stuelke.
It's just hard.
Kevin McGuff says, ideally, for this matchup, we have Kitts and Lemila on the floor at the same time. Do not have that luxury with her out with the second straight game. Bryn Martin lofts a three. And it's still 0.9 seconds for a heave here, but Stuelke is going to get it into Wright. So that's how the first quarter ends in Iowa.
So that's just tough to see her go down.
A future engineer, and Coach Jensen has had to coach her in different ways. You're very analytical. You know the numbers support how good of a shooter you are. She was trying to work out of a slump, but a unique player and student. Here's Jelani Cambridge. Her mid-range is dialed up. Chance Gray dialing up the defense against the sophomore. Here's Wright threading it inside. Journey Houston, her first appearance today. That three off target and ripped down off the rim by Lemila. Gray, a lot of time and space, and she makes the Hawkeyes pay. Ohio State started the game making its first 3 threes since then. Before that, 1 of 7, so that was badly needed. A rejection inside ignites Ohio State. Trying to go coast to coast is Kennedy Cambridge. Now here's Jelani. No good that time, but she said, if you're going to give me a cushion, I'm going to put up this shot.
And I'm not mad about it. I want her to be more aggressive in her attack, in her shot. She's obviously lethal in the mid-range.
Some great matchups to look forward to. Kylie Feuerbach drains a triple for the Hawkeyes.
I mean, it's amazing watching Feuerbach in her career, just diligent in her role of being the best defender, but then giving the team offense when they need it as well.
Kennedy Cambridge, the vision finds Lemila on the run. Creating for her team in the half court. You can really see how her confidence has solidified this year. Here's Feuerbach going back to back. Another player who takes pride in her defense, but she'll bring the production as well.
Which is impressive because she has the matchup on Cambridge, which is a handful.
Gets the block there against Jelani Cambridge, and then a whistle.
The other end after that play got a block on Jelani Cambridge.
Ava Watson had some early foul trouble. Lemila leaves that way short, but she can stroke it from the mid-range. Addie Deal lines up a three. Offensive rebound. Heiden tries to muscle it up. Jelani Cambridge weaving every which direction, leaves it for Gray, and ripped down by Stuelke. Feuerbach thought about another three, dishes it off to Heiden, slips underneath the defense.
Their poise and patience to still gather, I'm talking about Ava Heiden, to still gather and go up. It's so impressive.
This Iowa team 5th in the nation in assists per game. That's how beautiful their offense is. Here's Jelani Cambridge yet again.
But even on that last play in transition, she passed it up. I want to see Jelani more aggressive towards the basket. They really need her to get it going.
Feuerbach can't make it 3 in a row. Watson up ahead. Kennedy Cambridge beats every gold jersey down for an easy 2. Maryland as well, who pressed, but no team is as committed to it as Ohio State, as Lemila has a denial inside. 6:10 to go in the second quarter. 3 on the way by Stremlo. Look at that offensive rebound by Chit-Chat Wright, the smallest player on the floor. And it leads to another Iowa triple.
Listen, she might be small, Sloan. Love the hustle for the second chance opportunity.
Jelani Cambridge, that would have been an unreal finish with the sidestep. Instead, Iowa takes back over. But Wright told us today, she said, I've always been the smallest player on the floor, but you have to find a way to make it work. Here's Ohio State on the run, coast to coast for Ava Heiden, unencumbered. Deal was huge in the first frame. Slicing her way through is Deal, who finishes for a three-point play opportunity. Deal already up to 10 points on 5 of 6 shooting. Remember, Asia, she came into this game barely 20 seconds in after Taylor McCabe exited with a knee injury, and she will not be returning to this contest. Leaves it for Gray.
Again, great looks. Just got to cash in on it. It seemed like Ohio State switching up their defense a bit.
Here's Stremlo lining up a baseline 3. She's got it. Cambridge stop before she gets into the paint. Here's Chance Gray slicing across the lane for 2.
Garnering all the attention defensively, where she was able to get it to her teammate and get the score.
8 points for Chance Gray. Came up huge against TCU in a non-conference top 10 victory. Here's another triple for the Iowa Hawkeyes. 6 already. While the Iowa Hawkeyes leading 44-29. They are dialing up the intensity in the shooting right now.
Yeah, specifically in that same exact corner for Iowa. That thing has just been hot.
Chance Gray muscles her way inside. Doesn't have the angle. Another rebound there by Heiden. That is number 5 as Deal evades all defenders to get to the rim. They're top 5 in the nation in assists per game on the season. And 12 here this afternoon. As that is left short, Ohio State has gone completely cold. They're one of their last 8 from the floor. Wright keeping her eyes up, directing traffic. Feuerbach, tight defense along the sideline. Under 2 minutes to play here before halftime. Feuerbach drops it off to Heiden. 1 dribble, set, and finish for the sophomore. Watson has gone coast to coast once. This time leaves it off for Gray. Badly needed for the Buckeyes. We're seeing how the Buckeyes are trying to respond going into the halftime locker room. Wright surveying, looking for Heiden. It's picked off, and a last shot opportunity. Jelani Cambridge. Hesitation, tries to get herself free against the length of Feuerbach. Can't knock that down, and Iowa a strong lead. And it's a big reason why they're shooting 56% against a top 20 defensive rating team in the country in Ohio State. So let's see how the second half unfolds. Ohio State is used to crawling out of double-digit holes. It's something they do not shy away from, and Iowa starts off with a turnover their first possession.
Really started with them turning Indiana over in that second quarter in the big 3 when you talk about Jelani Cambridge, Chance Gray, Kennedy Cambridge stepping up and putting points in the basket.
That broken up, the Iowa Hawkeyes take it away. Couple of turnovers to begin this second half. Inside, Hannah Stuelke smothered, but gets it right back.
And Ohio State, Lemila, she's going to have to be more aggressive on that because I like the front, Cambridge in the front, and Lemila on the help side there.
Kennedy Cambridge, a tough take.
She's one of the most aggressive players, Sloan, that I've seen in this conference.
Because Stuelke had 10 points in the first half, missed only 2 of her 6 shots.
Yeah, they've had to drop back in the zone. They've had to switch the coverage because one-on-one is just not going to bode well for the Buckeyes. They're going to need as much help as possible.
Iowa easily breaking Ohio State's press. It is Deal on the finishing end.
The press is so top-heavy.
Even this early in the second half, Asia, I think a critical stretch for Ohio State. They cannot let this balloon. She must have been overhearing me. Kennedy Cambridge dropping in a 3.
Yeah, they're going to have to connect in on more shots. They're going to have to get steals. Ohio State wins when they dictate the pace.
Stuelke trying to get that seal inside. A deep post up. All she has to do is finish over Kennedy Cambridge. She has the ability to take over this game.
And you saw she didn't have the pass on one end.
And they're missing her absence today. Kennedy Cambridge over Stuelke. Tries to save a good effort.
Watch Stuelke on the last play here. Just really getting a body. Before that, the ball, she didn't get it on the other side. So she quarterbacked the offense to get it to the other end.
Feuerbach goes across the court. That is blocked by Lemila. A lesson for the freshman. And then she sprints out ahead. 6'6", Lemila. A 3-point play opportunity.
We're going to talk about these Lemila blocks here. Sprinting the floor, now getting to the free throw line.
Kennedy Cambridge tries to work hard to get that rebound. Instead it goes to Wright. 3 minutes into this third quarter, 54-39. Iowa's still maintaining this advantage. The help defense by Cambridge really helping out there. Stuelke leaves it for Feuerbach. The hesitation. She scores right at Lemila. Kennedy Cambridge attacking right at Stuelke. Can't get that to fall on a wild take. Stuelke again wants it in the post. Hayes amongst the traffic, post to post, and Iowa continues to feast inside. A defensive-oriented team, so Jan Jensen has been able to adapt the identity while keeping and maintaining that culture.
And also just not a team anymore that's focused around one player like how they were back in the Clark days. Now it's a team effort. Obviously, they're led with their posts in the paint, but you see the trust, the chemistry they have with each other. To your point, Sloan, the momentum just keeps building. Still a sellout arena here.
Deal orchestrating this offense came into the game with an early injury to Taylor McCabe. A starter here is Stuelke through the interior.
And Houston, just an excellent pass. She saw that Hannah Stuelke had Jelani Cambridge on her butt, so that was an easy look there.
Cambridge, a tough take, couldn't quite get it to go. Still a 19-point lead for the Hawkeyes. Iowa 4-2 against top 25 teams this season. Looking to make it 5. 10 to shoot now for the Hawkeyes. Deal draws the defense. It goes inside. Journey Houston spins, and she's fouled. Houston looking to get on the board today. 0 for 1 shooting, but someone who makes an impact in so many ways. Asked her one time, she said, I'm really more of a guard, more of a small forward, too, playing out of position. I don't know if she's going to go back with the way that she's been playing at times this season.
Listen, you got to get in where you fit in college basketball.
Here is Tiana Todd with a strong take, snaring the rebound. Now Cambridge for 3. She's got it.
Yeah, and those second chance points, that's going to be huge for Ohio State. It's only the third one that they had there. I mean, credit Iowa's rebounding.
Another 3 on the way, and down for the Hawkeyes, deep in the corner this time. Wright with 6 points for Iowa. Jelani Cambridge, they go underneath the screen. She says, I got that.
In the hands of your best player, and that's Jelani Cambridge.
Jelani Cambridge is number 1 in Big Ten play in points per game, nearly 26 per contest. Expect to see her to break out.
I got that from Zora, so I'm not even going to take all the credit. I got to give Zora Stevenson, my partner from the last game, the credit for that one.
I was going to say, let's keep it alive. Keeping it alive from deep is Jelani Cambridge. She's up to 16 points, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. Deep post up for Heiden, just that easy, burying her defender.
I mean, this is how dynamic Iowa's offense is. They get corner threes. They're attacking inside the next possession. Such a hard guard.
Kennedy Cambridge. She said, you're going to force me to be a forward today? In the Big Ten, and it is tight and competitive at the top.
And that's what we talked about off the jump when we talked to Coach McGill. Both teams wanting to win, to secure their dominance, prove that they're the top dogs.
Under a minute to go in the third, Feuerbach gets out of trouble, finds an open deal. She's got it and has tied her career high. Watson takes off, can't finish. Seven to shoot for Wright. Whips a pass over to Deal, has that blocked by Kennedy Cambridge, put it right in front of her. 3-on-1, Todd leaves it for Cambridge. I don't think she got it off in time. Connell actually guarding a guard in Kennedy Cambridge, because that's something Coach Jensen told us. Yes, we have that advantage with her size, but how can that be reversed? And she's taken over on both sides.
There's always, that's like the drop off there. You might have that advantage on offense, but then defense, you have the disadvantage. And to your point, Slow, she's been moving her feet. She's been moving her hands. She's been very active on the perimeter.
Ohio State on the offensive end. Kennedy Cambridge darts into the paint, is fouled by Journey Houston. I'm most interested in seeing Iowa and USC. USC, of course, shorthanded this year. They don't have Juju Watkins. But I think it's going to be a fun, up-tempo kind of game.
Yeah, I think, when you go into these Big Ten matchups, even if a team's not ranked, you still treat them like a ranked opponent, because essentially they can be. In USC, they bring that defense. Iowa's just seeing a lot of defensively staunch teams.
You have to find a way. And she does it with the way she plays this game. Heiden, beautifully done.
Why doesn't Ava Heiden shoot the ball more from that spot when teams don't necessarily give her a hard contest? And Coach said, I want her to shoot that thing.
Iowa again forces the turnover. They have been all over the place defensively, too.
And it has been everybody. Guards, posts, we just saw there with Ava Heiden. All 5 players out on the court at all times are working on defense.
You are seeing the strength of Iowa's defense on display as Deal, a hard take, and she has a chance here to set a new career high. Coach Jan Jensen said, yes, we have a way we do things here with Iowa Post. We don't want them to dribble. We want to find those. She can do things a little bit differently and is encouraged to expand her game.
We were actually joking about it. I was like, Ava Heiden has like the sneaky quickness.
Yes.
She really can move. Want to chip in at this win with how much they are down by. They're going to have to be aggressive, try to get to the free throw line. They're going to have to make shots, get on the glass.
Down by double figures, have come back to win. But Iowa's a different kind of challenge.
Yeah, they completely dictated the pace, the tempo to their favor in the second half. You had Jelani Cambridge, Kennedy Cambridge, Chance Gray just coming out with buckets. They're not doing that as much in this half.
Iowa has had no issue with this press. It's high percentage shot after another. This time it is Heiden.
And when you have that patience and poise, you get great looks out of it.
You and I have seen a lot of teams spooked by Ohio State's pressure. Iowa's the opposite. That's something Coach Jensen really praises about Feuerbach. She's not going to light up the box score, but she knows what to do. She gets everyone organized. She is making the right play, and I think that's a great example.
Exactly. That's the senior leadership there. The experience.
This is actually the youngest team for the Hawkeyes in about 12 years, but you wouldn't know it. Here's Strumlow again off that press break, leaves it for the trailer, and you reward the post running the floor. Ava Watson for 3, no good, and gobbling up the rebound yet again is Hannah Stuelke. That's number 13. Stuelke darts to the rim, blocked from behind by Kennedy Cambridge. Not playing like a guard today.
I had to make sure I saw that right.
Jelani Cambridge gives it back. Chance Gray for 3. Yes!
Yeah, and we talked to Jan Jensen about that, and she said, some late mistakes. She wanted her team. She said maybe we need to work on more, pressure situation scenarios.
High, low. Look at that reverse from Layla Hayes in tight space.
The word freedom. I think that's the recipe for success when you have young players that are sort of thrown into the fire early. There's a lot of teaching to do, but really it takes time and experience under your belt. So in the meantime, as free as you let them play, there's not as much thinking about the game. They just go out and hoop.
To have a 20-point game on 50% shooting, tie your career high in assists against the number 12 team in the country. That is a big deal.
Yep. Oh,
you saw it coming.
Like that.
You pointed to me before I even said it. Jelani Cambridge darts her way inside. That is tied up.
Sloan, at Maryland, we switched 1 through 4. I was at the 4 spot. Switching on Kelsey Mitchell was like, why are we setting me up right now?
Like I still am haunted by these memories. 2:45 to go. Jelani Cambridge, an excellent game, and she adds to it. That is 6 triples. Well, she has played with max effort to try and keep her team in this. Getting her way into the paint, Strumlow tied up. The 3 on the way and good, but for Chit-Chat Wright. She's got 3 triples today. Coach has been telling her to shoot more, and she said, all right, I've heard you. Just had 18 points most recently. It was Ava Heiden with the rejection inside. More ball movement by the Hawkeyes. Inside, outside, inside, and in. Ava Heiden on the finish.
It is literally that part, Sloan. The way they've been able to score inside out. How dynamic, the depth of their offense.
There's another 3. 94 seconds to play. Wisconsin, who has 2 ranked wins this season, we should point out. Not a team to overlook this season. And then back-to-back ranked opponents. In fact, 3 of the next 4. Right from deep. She drains it. And a whistle. It has just been the Hawkeyes' day.
The foul was definitely away from the ball.
She'll take it out here with 1:19 on the clock. Eight to shoot for Wright. She'll put up a long-range 2, and she's got it on a day where she has tied her career high. Coach McGuff said, we've improved so much since January 1st. We continue to climb and grow. And the Iowa Hawkeyes stifled them at every turn. Ranked victory number 5 this season against number 12 Ohio State.